Welcome. Guys, hey, we want to welcome you all to the second episode of the Gamma Room. I'm your host, DJ Logic Jordan. Right here, I got with me my co-host, KD, Trendsetter Rumble.
Hey,
And of course, our special guest for today, Mr. Mike Mum Borum. All right, this is one of our podcasts for Gamma Epsilon Theta. And as you know, we taking this time to just, talk to some of the people, some of the brothers of Gamma Epsilon Theta, just to get some understanding and knowledge of what the fraternity is and how we operate and the things that we do. We bring in this live straight to you with any information or questions you may have, and hopefully through these podcasts we'll be able to answer those questions. As you noticed from our last podcast, we had our first president of national of the fraternal brotherhood of Gamma Epsilon Theta. Today, like I said earlier, our special guest, we have our second president
number two.
number two of Gamma Epsilon Theta, the fraternal brotherhood of Gamma Epsilon Theta Incorporated, Mr. Mike Mum Borum. Hey, Mike. Hey, welcome, man.
Welcome.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, let me give everybody just a quick, brief history on Mr. Mike Borum. Like I said earlier, he is the past national president from 1998 to 2022. Mike had previously been national vice president until he was elected as president during the Gamma Conclave in 1998. He currently serves on the Scholarship and Fellowship Equity or SAVE Committee, the Membership Committee, Events and Fundraising Committee, Information and Technology Committee, and the Public Relations Committee. He is also the chair of the National History and Archives Committee, and also the author of the Fraternal Brotherhood of Gamma Epsilon Theta 50th Anniversary Edition. Among all his other notable accomplishments in 2018, Mike Borum ushered in the Brotherhood into the Gamma Renaissance. And that's something that we're really going to dig deep into
we're going to
today.
dig into that. Oh, yeah.
All right. Of course, as always, also he served subsequent. He served as the Dean of Induction from 2022 to 2023 for those pledge and those induction lines for those years. So once again, Mike, welcome to the Gamma Room, man. The forum is yours today. You are our guest, and we're gonna dig deep, but we're gonna show you love at the same time. So thank you for coming aboard, and let's get the things popping.
Yeah, man. Let's get it going. So, again, man, DJ gave you a mouthful.
Yes.
I'm also just say welcome.
Thank you.
Because again, this is a platform that we welcome past and present members to just come and speak the truth and their truth about their experience with Gamma.
Right.
And because this is a very prestige organization and it's very special to everybody that's involved. And the fact that you're coming on this platform to speak your truth, it's an honor and a privilege. So we definitely would like for you to just speak how you want to speak. We're going to hit you with questions, so just answer them to Mike's way. I will have it no other way. I will have it no other way. So, just to start it off, like we always do. What made you want to be a Gamma man?
Wow, that's a I had to think about that question. To be honest with you, when I went to college, I wasn't looking for any organizations. And be honest with you, I'm from Hampton. I'm a native of Hampton, and my father worked at Hampton Institute at that time, and my dad is at that time also a staunch Hamptonian. He graduated from that school.
Okay.
So when it was time for me to go to college, my dad told me that I could go to any college I wanted to, but the only one he was going to pay for was Hampton. So it didn't start off right for me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
So you were stuck with Hampton regardless.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I wanted to go somewhere else. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love Hampton and everything, but I wanted to do something different. But anyway, I went ahead and went to Hampton and I majored in architecture. And later on, you mentioned a gentleman by the name of Keith Davis. He was my roommate, my first roommate.
Okay.
And we still, good friends and buddies to this day. So, all right. So I was at Hampton and I saw different organizations, and none of them really interested me. I was really interested in being an architect. So I hung around with different people, and especially young ladies, because I'm supposed to be from home, but I'm at home, but we hanging out with young ladies.
Okay.
So anyway, the ladies in my second semester of my freshman year said, "Hey, there's a smoker that they're gonna have, and we like you. Come on, y'all, let's go check it out." So we
So what is a smoke? What is a smoker?
Yeah, what's a smoker?
is what we call a modern day meet and greet. It's organizations start putting out feelers for people interested in pledging in the fall.
Oh, okay.
Typically,
Okay.
when you pledge your freshman year, you can't pledge. Okay.
Mhm.
Typically, everyone, all organizations, you could pledge in the fall of your sophomore year if you were academically eligible.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So I went to the smoker, and me and my guys, we went to the smoker, and when we walked in the room, what we saw were the girls that we thought we were talking to
Mm-hmm.
with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, these guys were good. They were feeling this out with the girls. Like I said, we thought they were cool, but they were actually their girlfriends and friends of them.
Okay.
And at that moment, I said, I like these guys. They're pretty that's a good move.
Yeah, they
And
hip.
so yeah, they
Yeah.
were definitely doing their homework,
Okay.
and they knew what we liked, young ladies, so they played us. So I went ahead and decided to join in the fall, and I started out with it was 7 of us. And I tell you something else that's funny too. It was a gentleman when I was a freshman. Back in them days, we didn't have cell phones. We had the pay phones. I don't know if y'all
Yeah.
know what pay phone.
Yeah,
Money.
we know. Okay,
I'm,
we're not that
I'm
young.
I'm not that young, but I'm
We
close.
that young. Yeah.
Well, fortunately for us, the payphone was next to our room, so I could literally pull the phone in the room and talk, all night if I wanted to.
Right.
And they were so upset about that. It's like, hey man, that ain't your phone. You got to share. So it was one particular guy. He ain't like that. So he kind of got in my face and said, hey bro, you got to stop this. And I'm like, nope, I'm gonna keep doing it. But anyway, making a long story short, me and him battled for a while. But then when we got together to pledge, who walks in the room? It was that guy, and I was like, wow, I'm not pledging with this guy. I don't like him. He wants to beat me up and we want to fight and stuff. But I'm gonna tell you something, guys. That's what started Gamma for me. That guy to this day is one of my best friends. I talked to him last week, and that's 48 years ago.
Oh.
Okay.
Uh,
So
Would you like to mention
that's
his
how
name?
Gamma got
yeah.
started.
Yeah. What's the guy's name?
His name is Keith Worthington.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
he's from Scott. Back then,
And, and
everybody
hold on. What is your line name?
my line name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my line name is Mum, and
No,
that's
no. I mean your line.
the name of the line.
The
I
name.
don't know because that's another part of the story.
Oh, it's the different. It's another part.
It's
Okay.
another part
Okay.
because we back in those days. I'm gonna tell you something else that you all not familiar with. They when you pledge, it was a 6-week program, and what they called it, you pledge above ground. What that means is everyone can see you pledging. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
it wasn't really illegal to pledge like it is today. And
Is
today
that
they
when you
call it
guys will like wear like white T-shirts and
yes,
everybody know that you part of that organization and
yes,
that you kind of a prospect and hands
yes.
off and leave us? Okay, I got you.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I mean, people see you getting brutalized and all
Yeah.
horror stories that you said it was true. Running between cars. I shouldn't be telling all these things, but it was things you could see. It's nothing that was in secret. Um, but unfortunately, after 4 weeks, they dropped our line, and that's why it goes to. You asked me, well, what's my line name and what's the name of my line? We didn't have it because they didn't give it to us yet.
Oh, okay.
And you say, well, why did they drop you? They dropped us because of academics.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
The guys online, we didn't meet the academic requirements. Therefore, the organization did not want to risk losing their charter on campus. So therefore, they dropped us.
mm.
I was crushed.
Mike, right quick, Mike. What line number was that though? That was out the premiere image.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so sorry, gentlemen. So sorry. I left something out. I pledged in the fall of 1977.
Okay.
Yeah. Premier Image they the old heads. That was 1969.
Yeah.
Gamma was going on for about almost 10 years by that time. And we were younger, new guys. They were a different kind of breed of guys. Those guys with Premier Image were guys, you all are not familiar with the Vietnam War was going on, and a lot of racial injustices, and it was just a crazy time, drugs. And so
Yeah.
by the time in the 70s, we cool. We got big afros. And that's one of the things, you see me now, but back then had fro.
Had the
And,
fro, man. Had
yeah,
the pick
man.
and all of that with the fist on it.
The fist on it.
Earrings, the whole nine. I was just out there, and my dad was just so upset about that, because he was a real straight kind of guy. But if he didn't like it, I was going to do it. So anyway, so in 1977, I pledged Gamma, and they dropped us, and I was crushed because those guys, like I told you, this guy Sky Worthington, he we didn't finish what we started. And you get to know somebody real good after 4 weeks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we were like brothers, and to this day we still like brothers. So anyway, make a long story short, here comes spring of 78, and the Gammas had another line, and they looked up and they said, "This guy is back." And I'm like, "Yeah." So that's one of the things that's unique about me, gentlemen. I pledged
Determined.
twice. Yes, that lets you know about me. Two things about me: I'm determined and I'm loyal. I
Right.
don't like starting something and not finish it.
Okay.
So these guys was like, "Oh, so I can't curse on this, but they made it really, really hard on me because they said this guy, he thinks he's tough, and they said, oh, we're gonna break him down." And on that line, I pledged to spring, and then the name of that line was the Dynamic Duo. Now it was 7 of us again, started out,
Mm-hmm.
but what happens, you guys got to understand, when they pledged back then, the hazing was rough, and school and different reasons, guys couldn't handle it, and so we lost everybody, but just me and Jimmy. And that's my line brother. And that's another story in itself about my line name. You say, Mum, what kind of stupid name is that? Well, when the big brothers asked us for what we want to call ourselves, they asked Jimmy first. And he said, They said, all right, you idiot, you're and he's Mum. So that's how I got my line name.
Wow.
I know it sounds crazy, but it was like that.
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you something else that no one else, not a lot of brothers know, but I had 2 line names. My other
Oh.
line name is Paperman.
Mm.
And you're like, what? Paperman? Yeah, they said I was thin and weak, and Jimmy would always take up for me, because Jimmy was strong, and they used to call him Nature Boy, and he looked out for me.
Okay.
But so anyway, my other line name is Paperman. So I went ahead and I did complete pledging that time, 6 weeks, and I became a Gamma in the spring of 1978.
Okay.
Wow.
That's cool, man. So okay, so now that you're a part of the Gamma, talk about the early days of Gamma. How did you know when it comes to the campus and now you're a part of this organization, how did you move around and how did the whole organization move as a whole?
Well, as a whole, there's a picture that you're going to see that when I pledged, that was the last influx of brothers on campus. We had a lot of brothers on campus before. A
Mm.
lot of them were getting ready to graduate, and so we had a lot of interaction with those guys. And the Gammas were known to be partiers, partiers and lady men. I'm gonna tell you.
Hmm.
It's a young lady by the name of Moms. I said I wasn't going to drop names, but you talk to Moms and she will tell you about the Gammas.
Okay.
But so we used to party a lot and just have a good time. I trying to think. We didn't do much other than just party in our rooms, or we might party at each. Back in them days, a lot of guys lived in apartments. So there was always a party going on in an apartment. Especially Keith and I became roommates, and we would party all the time. But see, back in '77, it was, just good times. That's about it.
Okay. So I mean,
So
go ahead, DJ.
yeah, so with the a lot of the partying, were you guys did you guys do any community type, did Gamma live up to what um what we know Gamma to be today back in those days with the community involvement and social, I mean, outside of the social activist realm, because I know that's what they was doing a lot of that in the late 60s, early 70s. Did that continue on in the late 70s, early 80s?
Well, I'll be honest with you guys. Yes, that was our mission to work with the community and children and things. But a lot of times, the economics during them times were tough, and all we could do was just volunteer our time. We didn't have any money to, buy kids uniforms and things of that nature because a lot of us were struggling. You know, with the racial injustice stuff going on, it was tough times, and we were just trying to survive and basically surviving and party. But as far as the community things, we did do some activities. We tried to work with the VA, and that's another thing. We didn't. A lot of us didn't have cars. It's funny about us. You see us now, especially you younger gammas. As one brother, I'm not gonna mention his name, but I used to get in his car and I used to could see the road. And I'm like, what are we, the Flintstones? Are we was supposed to stop running? Because I mean, we were all, trying to make ends meet. And
Yeah.
but basically we did a lot of stuff with each other and just hung out with each other. That's about
Oh, okay.
So yeah, man, that's crazy.
it.
That's real crazy. Yeah, hey, bro, let me get a ride, but all of us can see the muffler.
Yeah.
That's that's
And
pretty
then when
crazy.
once they went somewhere, everybody went in. You
I'm
guys
sure everybody was in there.
Right.
in the '70s, it's not what you like college is today. You went to school, you got a comforter, you got a foot locker, and an alarm clock.
Mm.
There were no vending machines. Um, you ate at the calf. You ate what they had, and that was it.
Mm.
A lot of people, their parents, they would drop them off, and they wouldn't see them for 6 months
Right.
because money was tight. It was a different. I mean, college really meant something back then. So people really kind of worked hard and studied hard, except people like me. Okay, now I didn't tell you all that part.
Mhm.
I partied a lot. I was a party animal, and so what they do to you back in them days, we used to get what letter grade E. Most people get Fs. They gave
Mhm.
us an E. If you got an E, that's worse than an F.
Oh.
So I ended up leaving campus for a little while, and I ended up getting married young.
Mhm.
But like you were asking what we did on campus, I came back and I worked with the gammas that were on the yard. That's another word too, the yard.
Mm.
You're gonna hear me say that or hear some guys say that. That refers to the campus. Okay. The yard. The yard is just the school, but we just turned it into something like our own thing. Not like it's prison or nothing, but it's just that term, the yard.
Hey, Mike, I got a question.
Yes.
So, when being out there on campus and however, how many games you think y'all had on campus at that time?
Wow. Oh man, maybe it could have been 25, 30. Because a lot of the guys, like I said, it all goes back to economics. You make me think about the economics. A lot of guys couldn't afford to stay on campus, so they would stay off campus, which leads to something else that you all weren't familiar with, that we used to have what they call the Gamma House.
Mm.
You guys got the Gamma Room, there was a Gamma House. And the Gamma House was notorious. Only Gammas lived there, and a lot of partying was going on. And once again, like I said, these guys were party animals and womanized.
Oh, okay.
And so that's something that was on Fulton Street in downtown Phoebus. It's really in walking distance from campus.
Do that still exist now, or?
Yes, it's still there. Matter of fact, one of the brothers, he went over there, and it's now they turned into apartments. And he actually offered to pay everyone that lived there whatever it took to move out for a weekend so we could party again there.
Oh wow, that'll be something else.
I don't know if
Wow, I don't think it'll be allowed, but man, if
yeah.
that, woo,
Yeah.
But he said that people agreed to it. I don't know how much he offered them, but we
Right.
never did it. But that
hey,
was. But yes, the Gamma House still exists on Fulton Street. Yes.
So was there any button heads with the other fraternities on the
Oh,
campus at that time?
yes, sir. Yes, it was. Now, like I said, I still was in touch with the brothers, and so therefore, we did activities, and one of the big things we did was the skating party.
okay,
Um, Skating party, man, our skating parties were just unfreaking real, unreal. We sell out. We used to bring the buses onto the campus, and we focused on the young ladies. And the ladies just they load the bus up and they took them to the skating rink. So that was the beginning of the friction. That was in the early '80s because they guys were watching us because, like I said, we were just having fun doing what we want to do. We're not trying to compete or we just doing us. And the skating party was good, but I'm not going to mention the organization. But they had a problem with us, and they
Mhm.
confronted us, and they wanted us. I remember one time to move the date, and I'm like, that ain't happening. I mean,
mm,
we having our party, and we're going to have our party. Um, and the skating parties was just a big success. But this was during the time before, I think your previous guest mentioned that we were put off the campus. And this was around, these parties were going on between 81 and 84. And
mm,
by 85, we were put all what they call social clubs were put off campus.
mm.
Mhm.
So how did?
Was that I'm sorry, KD. Did
Oh,
any of that, I know we talked about that in our last episode that a lot of the social clubs lost their, pretty much got their shields taken down, their charters or whatever taken away at that
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
Um, you think that any of these, the friction with the other fraternities and Gamma, also led to that happening for the campuses?
Yeah, I do. I do. The particular
Because I'm
organization.
sure it wasn't just Gamma and other fraternities. I'm sure the other fraternities was probably and social clubs was probably had some friction as well.
I think so. To be honest with you, I don't see any reason why we couldn't be on campus. Why not? You know what I mean? Nobody ever gave us any reason other than the fact that we used to have to go to some meetings with the she was a student of affairs, and ironically, the lady was my youngest sister's best friend's mom. And I used to just look at her like, "Hey, what's going on with you?" But what it was, I think the divine now, in which there was no such thing prior to 1985, that the organizations they realized that they needed to come together, and because organizations like us, we were free, we could do what we want. We weren't really, that large of an organization that we had all this red tape to go through, and so I guess someone made a decision that everyone off the campus, which is unfortunate because that's what was great about the '60s. Everybody wanted free speech. They wanted to be able to express themselves,
mm,
and the Gammas, we expressed ourselves. And I tell the story when I went to some of the meetings. If you've ever seen the movie Animal House, that's how it reminded me of us because they were telling us you all are going to be right off campus, and we're like, what? I'm like, you can't throw us off campus. And we'd walk out. We're not listening to them. So if you ever watched the movie Animal House, that was the Gammas in the mid '80s.
okay. Well,
How do you think that affect? I'm sorry.
no, go
Did
ahead. Ask that. I was just about to ask.
Yeah, man. We just how do you think being kicked off campus really affected Gamma Epsilon Theta as a whole,
And just you as a whole, how did it
and just
how did
and
it
you
how
as
did it personally how did you personally feel when that happened?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't like it at all. The thing that got me more than anything is they took our shield and they threw it in the trash. And
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you all, I'm gonna tell you, and any organization there, they wanted to dispute it. I go toe to toe with them right now. Our shield was the best shield on campus. And the ironic thing, the brother that did the shield only had one arm. He had a deformed arm.
Mhm.
His workmanship was no one can touch it. Matter of fact, all the other organizations tried to hire him to build them a shield. So
We talking about
so
Kane?
I wasn't a happy camper, and thank goodness that Big Brother Olin Walden went and found the shield, because we talked about it and we was like, what's going on? And he went and he found it, and we did restoration to the.
Are we talking about Kanan Harris,
No,
or
Kane and those
Charles?
guys, man, they were gone by the time I got to school.
Oh, okay.
A lot of those guys, they went to Vietnam. I know it sounds crazy, but Vietnam was going on. It stopped when I was like in the 10th grade, about 1974. So a lot of those guys were, Army vets by that time, and I didn't see them.
Mhm.
Okay, so who designed the shit? I mean, oh, we know who designed the shield,
Yeah.
but who made the shield?
His name was Brother Chris Taylor.
Okay.
Chris Taylor was an architect major too. And if you hear the commonality, that was one of the things y'all asked me earlier. Why did I want to be a Gamma? The one thing that I did notice, a lot of them were architect majors, and so kind of thought Gamma was an architect frat at one point. So I'm definitely down with that because I loved architecture. But Chris built it. Like I said, Chris only had one arm. I'm just telling you, that's how talented this guy is.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you look at the details of the shield,
yes,
Yeah.
like it's on point.
now I'll tell you something else we did do while we were off campus. Um, Gammas, one of the things about Gammas I like, we don't go away easy. Maybe don't have a lot of numbers sometimes, but the ones that are, about 8 or 9 of us, we'll get together and we'll just sit around and we'll just be thinking of ideas. You know, we actually made a mobile billboard out of the sign of out of the shield, and posted it on campus. And that's another thing, was like for these skating parties, that we would put that out and people would look at them, because we could advertise them, but we could move the sign around. But that was all of us just coming together and coming up with an idea.
Right.
One more little quick story on that. One of the brothers, I am gonna mention his name later. We were standing there looking at the sign. We just put it up, and this young lady walks up, and she's just looking at it. And he starts talking to her, and we walked away and came back a couple of hours. He's still talking to her. We left again and come back. He's still talking to her. Well, he ended up marrying her because of that sign. So that's another little.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. So, um, I know Hampton Institute and how it affected, because it was directly there. Hey, shield off the wall, y'all get off campus type of deal. I know you talked about that y'all academics were not up to par, pretty much as a fraternity. Do you know about the other campuses and how it affected the other campuses as well, like Norfolk State and Bowie College and all these other chapters we have out there? I don't know how many was actually activated at that time, but whoever was activated during that time period, do you know how it affect them? And did y'all have constant communication with the
Yeah,
brothers at
it's
those
funny
campuses?
that you said that, because during that time in the 80s, early 80s, before we left campus, we started to interact more with the other chapters. That's why, I'm not giving people's names out, but like brothers like Bam and Honey Bun and those guys over in Norfolk State. And then we took trips up to the University of Maryland. And I got another story about that. We met them because we had never met them before. And primarily Hampton, we wore navy blue and blue. That was our colors. I mean, well, that was our primary color. So we went up to the University of Maryland to meet these brothers, and we saw these guys coming with all this green on. We was like, who are these guys? And make a long story short, we challenged them into a basketball game. And they didn't tell us either that some of them played for the University of Maryland either. They didn't tell us that, and they proceeded to just beat us down. But we came together, and so we started, like I said, visiting other campuses and meeting like Fast Eddie up at Howard, and Brother Payne and those guys at Bowie. So we started connecting more in the 80s, the mid 80s.
Okay.
I guess the big question, man, and this is the meat and potatoes of really why we ask you to be our guest today. The resurgence, man, the Renaissance. You were the instrument, you were the catalyst for the renaissance of Gamma Epsilon Theta, the resurgence of Gamma Epsilon Theta. Um, what was going through your head, and how did you decide that Gamma could still move forward after a long pause? What made you decide that Gamma could move forward in a different direction using a different method besides on campus, the on campus front?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what led up to the Renaissance is that 30-year gap. And while we weren't present on campus, we Gammas, we still stayed in touch with one another, and we still were family, and we still, we still brothers. And so what I personally pushed was to have a dance during homecoming. And homecoming, every year we would have a homecoming dance. And the saying goes, ain't no dance like a Gamma dance. One thing I knew that we did well is that we like to have a good time. So the only way I say with like a reunion that we could keep us together is we did this Gamma dance, and the Gamma dance lasted for 42 years.
Mm.
Believe it or not, one of the brothers that was upset with us when we would put off campus, and when I tell you we were like Animal House, he came to our dance every year. And I always used to just look at him and understand why you were so upset with us, but you're at our dance every year. Because the one thing about Gammas, we've always been friendly, we've been family, we're good people, we associate with good people. And so that was the one big thing that we kept going was that dance. And out of that, we would have um, uh, we just the tailgate came out of that. And then on Sundays, we used to go to Miss Judy Walden's house for breakfast. And Miss Judy, she would cook for us, all of us.
Mm.
Until one Sunday morning, she said, "I can't do this no more." And we all looked at her like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?
And we talk about Olin's wife, correct?
Yes, yes,
Shout out to Miss Judy, man. She's
yes.
a lovely person.
And so that's what I'm trying to say about us. We've always been family. All of our kids grew up together, and all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, leading up, that all led up to the Renaissance. Brother Tony Hughes and I grew up together here in Hampton. I've known him longer than I've known anybody in my life. And he would come every year. I'd invite him every year, and we'd have a good time. I mean, the party was so great, man. My parents would go. Okay.
Oh.
I mean, how often you invite your parents to come to a club and party with you? I don't know.
Not that. I'm not.
I know, but my parents would come. My dad be sitting in the back, having a blast, looking at me, and I'm looking at him like just shaking my head. But anyway, Tony came, and one time after the dance, he asked me. He says, "What would it take to join this organization?" And I was like, "Wow." I never thought about it because I accepted the fact that we're family. I'm satisfied with the brothers that I have, and we did have a couple of brothers that came in that we brought in, but for the most part, starting the Renaissance, that never hit me. But I said, you know what, we're gonna talk about it. And once again, just like that sign that I had mentioned earlier that we built, we got together, we started talking, and we kept talking, and it started coming together. And that's where we are today. It's just that's who we are. I mean, I guess we're good people and now we're working with good people. And I also was tasked as the national president to die. But I'm only one person, but I'm gonna tell you, working with others, I'm learning teamwork is what makes a difference. So that's how the Renaissance really got started, with rising Phoenix Rising, and it's been rising ever since.
Mm.
So this young fella we all heard and talked about last week, Prodigy.
Prodigy.
Yeah.
This is Prodigy is supposed to be direct descended from Mr. Mike Borum.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit about Prodigy and why Prodigy?
Yes. Prodigy. I work at the shipyard. I'm in engineering design there. I've been in the engineering design field for like 44 years. And I had a group, and the young man was an intern. Well, he wasn't an intern. He just got out of a program that I had been in many, many years earlier. And he came in the group. I said, "All right, come on." And I liked his demeanor. He was a guy that would listen, because sometimes, even myself, old heads tell you something. You're like, "Man, I ain't listening to you. You don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
But he listened all the time. I was like, wow. And so we kind of started mentoring him, and he's just a great guy. He's non-controversial. He's not like me. He doesn't piss people off. He doesn't, he's just a easygoing kind of guy.
Right.
In fact, the little story I'm telling people, I shouldn't be saying it, but he actually went out with both my daughters. And sometimes I was like, I don't know whether I should beat you up or congratulate you, but he's that kind of guy. I mean, he's a nice guy, and I just thought that he'd be a great fit for this organization. And so he went to the program, and the guys have accepted him, and that's who you have today, Mr. Mike Dabney.
Okay.
Oh, and I wanted to say something else about Mike. With the Gammas wear our green and blue tie. And I said I wasn't going to drop names, but it was a brother by the name of Chester Langston that was very dear to a lot of us, very dear to all of us. He's the kind of guy that chokes you up when you talk about him.
Mm.
But we didn't do anything for him when he died.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me. That really got me. So when little Mike, hanging with us, and his father passed. So I said, we got to do something. So the green and blue tie that you see the Gammas wear today on our formals was in honor of Chester, but we wore it to Lil Mike's, well, we call him Lil Mike Two Prodigy's father's funeral.
Mm.
The first time we wore those ties was to his father's funeral. And I'm gonna tell you, people were asking us, "What are y'all, a music group?" Or, it was very, I don't know, attracting. People were really curious about that tie,
Mm.
and that's where that tie has come from, and it means a lot now. It has meaning behind it now. So, but Prodigy, great guy, great guy. Just like all of you all are great guys. He's just an example of all the Gammas, and you know, that's all I gotta say about him.
I was walking in like the Gammatations, man.
Man, people were like, and also you guys are nice looking guys, so I mean, it doesn't hurt. Women are always kind of like, wow, that dark blue suit and the tie. I mean, I'm a kind of guy I watch. I'm behind the scenes kind of guy. Some people call me a creep, but I ain't a creep. But I just be observing and watching,
Mm.
and I don't know. I'm impressed. It's impressive.
Right.
Well, speaking on that, and the way that I say me, but the way this new era of Gamma Men that are coming along, the way that we're moving, what do you think we need to do to continue to move our fraternity forward?
Wow. I love what we're doing. I love it. The one thing that I definitely would say to you, both of you brothers and all the brothers, don't stop. A lot of time people wanted us to stop and reevaluate and all that. No, never stop. You keep pushing through. Um, don't get me wrong. We and through this renaissance, there's growth. And in growth, there's pain. They say nothing good comes easy. It's going to take work. Um, but we're also learning to do this better. Also, we're learning that we just don't accept anybody in our organization. We must accept men that are good men. That it doesn't matter what your background is, and that's what you hear about us. We're not trying to follow the traditional. You have to have a bachelor's degree. You have to have a master's. That doesn't judge the man. I want a man that's going to work and wants to do something better for our youth. He wants to do something better for our community, and he wants to do something better for us. I mean, that's going forward. So to answer that question, we're looking for good men, and I'm a true believer that good men will do good things together.
Okay. Well, I mean, in that part of it, because you just explained just how you see Gamma moving forward.
Yes.
But in Gamma moving forward, what was the difference in how Gamma's moving now to, in your opinion, how other fraternities are moving?
Well, the one disadvantage that we do have is numbers, and so when you have more people, sometimes it appears that maybe they're doing more, you are, and I'm not gonna say appears, they are gonna be able to do more because you have more people.
Mm,
So, but with us, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't trade, even if it was only 20 of us, I wouldn't trade uh, any U20 for any organization because I believe in what we're doing. So, I don't know. I think that we can go forward if we just continue to work together and continue to grow.
Hmm. Mike, you've been doing this for a minute, man. I mean, I was born in '77, so and you said the fall of '77. I was born in the fall of '77.
right.
So I know how old I
Uh-huh.
am. So you've been doing this for a minute.
Yes.
So I know it's got to be at least one or two crazy stories about some of the brothers or something out there, maybe on or off campus or party. There has to be something out there that you can tell us, man, that we don't know already. You got to give us something.
And then, like, how did I'm sure you met the founding fathers. I mean, did you have any run-ins with them, or did you have any stories with any of them guys?
Well, the answer to the second question, Loops. Yes, I met Loops, and Loops was a dynamic guy. And what I admired about him was if you've ever met somebody who's talking to you and they start crying because they believed in what they were doing,
Hmm.
it meant that much to him. I mean, he was just powerful. When he talked, nobody spoke. They just listened. You
Mm.
know, he was a very interesting but great guy. After he's crying and he's all right, who got where the drinks at? I mean, he was I don't know, he was the life of the party. He was a leader. And that's what I admired about him the most. But he's one of the only ones. And other than that, I would say Chester. Now, Chester wasn't a founder, but Chester, like Brother Olin had mentioned, that there were guys that worked with the founders to create Gamma. Okay,
Mm.
you just can't start an organization. They got a process. But Chester, this brother, like I said, if you hear people talk about him, he'll bring tears to their eyes because he was that kind of guy.
Mm.
I mean, he never cursed. He was always there. He was, and that's what I want my guys to be like him. I model myself after him. He worked hard. He believed in what he believed in, and I don't know. Those two guys in particular, and it's a lot, and that's why to be honest with you, I didn't want to drop names because I didn't want to slight anybody, because we had neighbors, friends, other fraternities, sororities, our families, my kid, my wife. I don't want to slight anybody because everybody has been so good to me and to this organization.
Right.
And so now, other part you asked me, crazy, crazy questions. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you everybody this, but my line brother's listening to this right here.
Mhm.
But he's the only guy I've ever slow dragged with. And for you younger guys, you say slow drag. What is
Yeah, because I'm like, what is hold on.
y'all don't know
I
what
got
slow
a pause. We got a
Is,
pause.
is this is this a is this a Diddy moment? Is this a
Yeah.
Diddy moment?
No Diddy.
No Diddy?
like I said, when you're online, they do crazy stuff to you. And they uh they made me have to dance for it. It's like a slow dance, we call it and I remember Jimmy, he's probably watching this, and he always laughed. He said, "Man, just shut up and keep dancing." I said, "What's wrong with these guys?" So that was definitely a crazy time for me. And then also being online, we caught a lot of flack. But I'm gonna tell you guys, the ladies loved it. You know, we used to say, "Oh, they're beating us up." So we staying in their dorm rooms, together, you know. And I'm gonna tell you, I can hear the Gammas in the hallway. Where are they? They knocking on the door. Boom, 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 boom. You know, because you can hear in the dorm, you can hear them. They just knocking on the door. Where they at? Where them orbs at? You know. And we in there. And one time they actually came in the room we were in, and they opened the door and they came in looking, but the girls had us in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that always makes me laugh. Another story. When they always asked us, "Well, what do you like about yourself?" You know, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm nothing spectacular about me. And as soon as I said that, I hear these clippers. I say, "Oh no, no, no!"
They cut that fro
My fro off, man. They cut my fro off. They cut my fro off, man. I'm just sitting there, and the dudes are laughing because they know now I'm mad because I'm like, wait a minute, you know, you asked me that question, but I guess I like my hair. I guess they knew it. They already knew, but they just asked me, see what I was going to say.
Right.
But those were some of the crazy times that we had that I really love about Gamma. They're special. You know, like homecoming when I was younger, we Friday and went to bed on Sunday night. We never went to sleep. You know, we were just happy to be around each other and our kids, guys. Our kids were part of the growth. Choir boy, he was one of the little kids. You see pictures of him on our knee, and now he's a brother. That just lets you know. It's crazy. But we were family. And I don't know. I know in Greek, gamma doesn't mean family, but to me, when I think of gamma, I always think of family. That means more to me than anything. And I wouldn't join any other organization. Other organizations have tried to get me to join, but I would never leave you guys because I'm like, what? I'm gonna get a new family? No.
Right.
So that's where I'm
Hey, I've heard this twice now, actually more than twice, but our last two podcasts. We talked about don't let it die.
Yes.
Don't let it die. Um, so talk to us about Father Time and why those words and how did they hit you? Why did they hit you so hard like they did? As Olin told us the same thing. Those words kind of hit him hard.
Yeah, because Gamma was good. I mean, it was no reason we got the raw deal by being put off campus. We didn't deserve that. They didn't give us any extra, uh, reasons why we were going to be being put off school out of school. Um, we're good people. So, Loop started it, don't let it die. And then, Father Times, you know, he stayed on me about don't let it die. And I'm determined not to let it die because it never will die. One of the things that I've done, for you guys know the history. Brother K. Paul wrote the first history book, and I wrote the second one because I didn't never want our history to die. So for that second history book is now officially in the Hammond University library, into a historical document. So that's a historical document now. And I'm challenging the next brother, with me or without me, to do another history book to continue to show the history of our organization. Especially the Renaissance time. This is history, guys. I want to capture that. I want that story told. I'm gonna tell you another little story. It's funny. It always make me think about a story. The history book, the lady said, hey, the book turned out good, so she put it as like on a show so people could see it. Someone tried to steal it.
Oh wow.
And so she had to put the book in the back so nobody could see it. But the history book, man, like I said, I'm not a history guy. I mean, a professional history guy. I be honest with you, I really wanted to be a history teacher, but I decided to go with the architecture though. But I love history. I love ancestry. I love to tell our story, and I wanted to continue our story to be continually told. Same with my own personal family. I'm big into ancestry. I love that, and so I don't think any of us would want this organization to die.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you the historian for a reason.
Yeah, man. I kind of took on that role because when I was married, I told you money was tight, guys. I mean, I hear people say they broke and stuff. I get that, but man, back in the day, try to take care of a family on $4.75 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah,
I couldn't even imagine.
I'm gonna tell you, bro. So, when I first got married, I'm telling you, I lived with my parents, my wife, my kids, everybody. And I hated being with my parents. And don't get me wrong, I love my parents, but I didn't want to live with them. Okay.
Right.
I want to be able to do my own thing. So what got me going with the history was I got time, so I started documenting the history. Back then, it was a typewriter. It didn't have computers, didn't have cell phones, and none of those good thing computers. I typed everything, so I actually have some documentation that's typed. And the brothers knew that I liked the history, so they would drop off stuff to me. So I have a lot of things like artifacts and things that people have given me, pictures that they say, "Hey, Mike, here, you take this, you hold on to this." And what I'm going to do, I want to be able to pass that on to the next person as well. Uh, we want to keep it going. Be honest with you, we didn't think we was going to see our 50th anniversary, but we did. Now I'm saying I want to see our 75th anniversary, which will be in 2043. I figured it out. I think I'll be 80 some years old, 80 or 91 or something like that. I hope I'm here.
Yeah.
But
We'll carry you in there.
there you go.
I'll be I ain't gonna say how old.
Carry me in the casket. I hope he carry me. This will be on record.
No. We gonna walk in. We gonna walk in together.
Yeah, man. That's what the goal is, gentlemen. 75th. Think like that. We gotta always think forward thinking. Get back to your question, DJ. We gotta be forward thinking. We gotta be positive. We gotta, we can do it. And that's what I love about Gamma. Gamma has always allowed me to be myself. To be honest with you, yeah, you're gonna get opposition. Somebody, who do you think you are? Why are you doing it? Yeah. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. Doesn't mean I'm gonna quit. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm a kind of guy that I believe in mine and I fight for mine, and I'll do whatever I got to do to make it happen. That's just my born.
Hey, I think that's the Gamma spirit.
I think that is the Gamma spirit.
That is definitely the Gamma spirit. You just fight for what you got.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all we got. I mean, it's not a lot of us. So, and the ones that are out there, that's all we do is we fight. We fight to move forward with everything that we have today to use at our fingertips, and that's what we're doing. We're using it. Right quick before we continue forward, I know we're coming towards the end, but Kitty, do you have any advertisements or shout outs to give right now? We didn't pay no bills, so
yeah. I really don't have anything that's coming up as far as that's Gamma related. But
I do.
okay. Well,
okay.
Can I get in my little plug in here?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Once again, I told you I'm a party animal. I ain't never changed. I still like to party. I like to have a good time. And I know I like to do serious business also. But I just want to let the brothers know, start collecting money for the Blue Green Sale. That is a weekend. That'll be the weekend of June 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We'll be putting out more information on that. The cost is $55 per person before April 1st. It'll be $65 after April 1st. What it is a weekend. We have different activities. Hopefully this year is my birthday. So we're gonna celebrate all June Gamma birthdays, and we're gonna have a party that Friday night, and then Saturday is the main line is the boat ride. If you've never been on the Red Rover, it is great. To me, is seeing Norfolk from a different perspective, being on the water. Great time. This will be our third annual one, and it usually sells out every time. Matter of fact, I was not considering doing it this year, but I was thinking about it because I love it. I love the water. And when I was thinking about it, the captain of the ship called me. So I was like, yep, that's it. That's what I needed. Just the fact that he called me because I was thinking about it. And the bottom line, the brothers have a great time. The wives have a good time, and the this year, guys. It's going to be June 20th to the 22nd.
Mike, talk about that a little bit more in detail. So you saying the Gamma Sail, it's not only a boat ride, but it's more
A
than
weekend.
just a boat ride.
Yes,
It's a
a
boat
weekend.
ride for the whole weekend.
Yes, sir. It turned the boat ride into a weekend Gamma festival. Okay, it's like
You actually stay on the boat the whole weekend.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the boat ride itself is just we meet at Waterside at the pier, and the boat leaves at 6:30, and we get back to pier at 9:30.
Okay.
So we got a DJ. They did something a little different with the bar. They have it's like $25. I think it's top shelf. You can unlimited. Um, but it's just a party. It's just a party.
Is this all Gamma on the water? Is this an all Gamma event or others?
Yes.
Also? Okay.
Typically it's mostly gammas, and we ask guys that are, someone that was interested maybe joining the organization. You invite a friend, a guest, because I can tell you probably 10 of our brothers have joined because they were on that boat ride. So it's a good time. Once again, I like to I'm about business, but I also say, hey, we gotta let our hair down a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. So again, just say the date again. I mean, I'm sure you'll probably have a flyer. We'll put the flyer right here. But you said it's in June, and then how would you want to get the tickets? How would you want to sell the tickets? Or
Cash app to $68 Gamma.
okay,
And it's $55 before June. I mean, not June 1st, April 1st.
okay,
And I'll constantly let everybody know where I'm at, because when it sells out, it will sell out. It sells out every year. So
What's the dates?
it's June 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The actual sale is the 21st.
okay.
Okay. So we have hotel booked group rates. That information will be sent out. I might put it on I think it's on the what is that?
On the Facebook page.
Facebook and the G Blast, but I will put it out again and give more detailed information on where we're going to eat, the different places we're going to eat. We've done things in the past, like play golf in the morning. Had a golf, the wives and husbands did a golfing event. Uh, we had some organizational events. We did like an inauguration the last time. We had the Gamma inauguration on Saturday before the boat ride. So it's different activities that we would do depending on what's happening in June for the organization.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll just keep everybody in the loop. And then again, you said the deadline is April 1st.
Yeah, first, yeah, because I got to try to, I can only have so many people on the boat. And once it fills up, I can't, and then be like, I want to go. And most people who've gone, they have a great time.
All right. Look, y'all better get y'all tickets.
Yeah.
Get your tickets.
I better get them.
I'm getting mine.
Yeah.
Time for some.
If you're afraid of water now, I don't, some brothers are scared of the water. I don't know why. They said they're not getting on a sailboat. Last time we got on a sailboat, they brought us and never took us back. But it's really a wonderful time, man. I'm telling you, I love it. I really love it. I love it. And but my family are water people. My grandfather was an oysterman. I mean, water's in my blood. So I love water.
Oh, hold on. So this is an actual sailboat. This is not
Yes,
like
sir. It's a sail. Not the yeah,
oh,
sail.
man, I don't know about that. Now,
No. That's part of the allure of it. It's like a show. They get up there and they hoist the sails, and it's really, really, really a good time. Trust me.
Okay.
Hey, I'm locked in.
Yeah, definitely. Like, oh, this is all right.
Do I need to take some like seasickness medicine
If
before
you're a person that don't, if you seasick type, yeah.
Yeah.
I see some people. I see you holding on to the side. I'm like, yeah, he's one. Because me, I'm one of them. I'll be hanging on it. I love the water, so it doesn't really bother me. But no, I mean it's good seating and stuff, and it's just a good time. It's you'll see. It's really, really a great time, and I will get out some more advertisements.
Okay. All right. Well, DJ, did you have any plugs?
No, I didn't have anything. I know we did our Buffalo Wild Wings last night with the second meet and greet for the upcoming spring line. So that's awesome for the HRC chapter. Um, I don't. Other than that, I don't have anything else as far as plugs. But I
Then
would like for us to.
I guess we'll just keep updating for the
Yeah,
final.
yeah, we'll do that. We'll keep updating for the final meet and greet. Um, But just always, as always, guys, let's keep our brothers in our prayers. That's our own Father Time,
Yeah.
our own grandstand, and any other gammas that we know out there that are on that sick and or that shut in or just needing prayers. We all need prayer, but definitely keep those guys in our prayers as they continue to fight through their current situations. Um, but that's about it that I have on that one, Katie.
Okay, well, I mean, Mike, did you have any final, how did you feel doing this?
Man, I feel I'm so sorry. I just, it's a lot of things I want to say. I'm getting old, but I just want to thank you guys, man. You just don't know what this means. Um, I just want to thank you and keep up the good work. Keep pushing. You know, you asked, DJ asked about the numbers and stuff. The numbers are going to change. They're going to improve because the way we going, I could see things. This organization going to a level that you'd be like, wow, you know.
Mhm.
And so that's the whole thing. If we all are thinking like that to try to make it better, it's going to get better. We're already doing it with the young men. And every time I turn around, we meet somebody just as positive as we are, trying to do something else positive, and it's
Yeah.
just it's going to be better. It's
Hey, I can tell you that green is infectious, man. Because now people are like, who's the green guys? The green and blue
yeah,
guys.
Yeah,
Like we're hearing it because we're taking over Tidewater, man. We're
yeah,
taking over them 7 cities right now. So
yeah. Like
yes,
they see us.
yes,
they see it.
They like even last night, after the meet and greet, the brothers
mhm,
we went out and they was like, "Hey man, y'all wrote like who are y'all?" Stuff.
yeah,
So it's like again, if we out here
hmm
and we on platforms like this and
hmm
another plug like, hey, make sure y'all go on our Facebook page, our Instagram page, go
Yeah.
to Gamma Epsilon Theta.org, check us out. But the more that we get out there, people are really watching what we're doing.
definitely,
Especially with all the programs we got going on, and it's only going to get bigger. Like you say,
Yeah.
it's going to
And
get bigger.
this
It's going to get
even
great.
with this page, even with our YouTube page, you watching this now, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Matter of fact, leave us a comment.
Right,
If there's something you like to see, something you like to hear, a question that you may have for any one of our guests, past guests, if you got a suggestion for a future guest,
right.
just go ahead and just put it down in the description right now.
And
Let
if you
us
want to
know.
be a guest yourself, if you're a
If you
gambler,
want to be a guest yourself,
if
that's
you're
yeah,
a gambler,
exactly.
hey, we
Let
would
us
like
know.
to interview you.
Yeah, if you look at the description in the on the website, right, the description right here on the YouTube page, you can get our email information and go ahead and email us. You can contact us through Facebook. You can contact us through Instagram, um, and we'll definitely respond. You know.
Gotcha.
gotcha.
So I just want to once again close out by saying, Mr. Mike Borum, man, we thank you. We
Yes,
appreciate you.
yes.
We really enjoyed our time this evening, the conversation, the history, the laughs, um, definitely the encouragement. It's people like you that make it possible for men like us to help continue to move Gamma forward. So we appreciate that support. Um, and I think it's very understated how much the resurgence and the catalyst for that resurgence you played. But we recognize it, and that's why we wanted to give you your flowers and show you that we recognize it. So we do appreciate you coming on today. We appreciate your time and your energy and your information, man. Katie?
Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, again, Mike, you know how we feel about you. We love you,
I love
and
you.
we definitely appreciate the stories that you just brought to
Right.
this platform. Again, the platform is
Yeah.
because of guys like you that paved the way for us and future gamers
Mhm.
to do what they need to do.
So, I never want to take credit for anything, guys. I'm a guy. I'm behind.
We're gonna give it to you.
No, I'm behind.
We're gonna give it to you. You gotta take it.
Yeah, you ain't gotta take it. We just gave it to you. You can't. No backsies. No backsies.
Yeah, no backsies.
No backsies. We just gave it to you.
See y'all take this to a level that's like, wow. Just wow me. That's all
as long as we got that support, Mike. As long as you continue to give us that support, that's what we plan on doing. Because we are innovative. We are visionaries, and we do see. We love. I mean, both of us have been part of Gamma less than a year, and we love Gamma as if we were in 1968. So we just want to continue to propel the organization forward, and maybe our sons can be part of Gamma. So that's what we want to do. So yeah, man, we thank you, man. Thank you. And for everyone else, hey, listen, this is episode 2. Be on the lookout for episode 3. Once again, I'm your host, DJ Logic Jordan.
And I'm KD Trendsetter Rumble.
And we will see you again on the next episode of Gamma Room. Out.